Well, I guess it's about that time once again. It's about that time once again for us to get back into. Hopefully, you missed me because it's that time again. Welcome. I just wanted to say welcome to each and every one of you who have been tuned in to a lot of the Amazon videos I've been making. And then those of you that are new, welcome as well. So what I'm going to do for this video is basically go through 5 tips. And these tips are going to be 5 advanced tips to help you in your success with Amazon shifts, or grabbing Amazon shifts, I should say. The last videos that I've been making, I would say maybe the second video before the one I did before. I'm confused now. The video before my last video that was made has been a big help to a lot of people, from what I understand. I've been reading the comments and responding back to a lot of the people that has left comments, and they mentioned that the tips are really helpful. They've also mentioned a lot of the experiences that they have been having once they started, or once they had like maybe a weekend or 2 weeks in. So it's been great to see a lot of the insight on your guys' experiences with the Amazon Locker Plus position. So these tips actually are going to be, I believe they can be used for any Amazon job that does have you grabbing shifts. It's not necessarily just focused on the Amazon Locker Plus position, even though that is what the position that I was, the position. Yep. Even though that was the position that I was in, and kind of catered all of my videos after. This can be for any Amazon job that has you grabbing shifts. Not grabbing shifts. Just a small disclaimer though, because I don't work for Amazon anymore. I left Amazon, I believe, in 2021. That was a while ago. I still have multiple tips that I believe will help each and every one of you. Maybe it'll be a refresher for some of you that are veterans and that know these things already. But those of you that are new, I think it will be a great tip or tips to use to help you acquire shifts successfully. Just make sure you keep it on the down low. Shh. Don't tell nobody. And then also with that disclaimer as well, I forgot to mention is I don't have the Amazon app anymore. So you're going to have to figure out how to maneuver and get some of these tips done on your own phone or your own whatever device you're using. You're going to have to figure out how to make it work on your own. I did try to record me grabbing some shifts when I used to work there and I was making videos. I tried to have some type of video of me grabbing the shifts. And, as an example, I will have to see if I can pull that up. I don't know if I still have it. But without further ado, let's get into these 5 advanced tips on grabbing Amazon shifts successfully. Tip number one is going to be one that I believe is very simple. It definitely sounds simple, but this is something that will help you get your Amazon shifts on the side of grabbing them in your app. And tip number 1 is to build relationships. What do I mean by building relationships? Well, you're going to have multiple coworkers when you start this job, when you start either the Locker Plus position or another Amazon position. Even on your first day there, you want to make sure that you begin to build relationships with whoever you can. Those that are either in the break room with you when you take your breaks, or those who you clock in right behind after they clock in. Whoever it is, make sure you start to build the relationship with that person. So some of the things you can do to break the ice is just to ask, how long have you been working here, right? Throw out some questions. If you're a individual who's shy and doesn't really like to, be social a lot, this tip might be harder for you to accomplish, but you're going to have to come outside of your box. You're going to have to come out of your shell, so to speak, to get this tip accomplished. You want to have as many relationships builded around in your circle for the Amazon job. Why do I say it? What do you mean by building relationships, and why do you bring this up? Well, once you build relationships with different individuals, you're going to, and you may have an app with all of your coworkers in it. That's what we had when we worked the Locker Plus position. But you may have a app on the side. Let's just use this hypothetical. If you do have an app on the side, just to text each other, you can always message someone privately asking them, when's the next time do you work? Are you going to drop any shifts? Are you able to work that shift? Did you want to drop the shift and let me take it? Right? You want to build relationships for that, because oftentimes when I used to work at the Locker Plus position, I would have people message me on the side of our group that we did have and ask, hey, are you working this day? And I would say, yeah, why? What's up? Hey, I'm going to drop my shift. I don't think I can work it. Did you want to take it? This is what they would message me on the side. So imagine if you built relationships with so many different people at your building, how many different people will message you like, hey, you want a shift? Hey, you want to work this? Hey, you want to work that? It even works with you trading shifts. Let's say you can't work a Monday and you have another individual who's always there Monday. You can even have your relationship established to the point where you ask them, is it all right if I trade you this shift, my Monday shift, for your Thursday shift or your whatever shift that you wanted to grab? Those types of things you can do if you've built the relationship beforehand, right? So tip number 1 is a very important tip. Those relationships have to be builded. Even with the supervisor, you can build your relationship with your supervisor, and oftentimes the supervisor will let you know, apart from everyone else, they'll let you know that someone might not be working on a certain day. And then you have the heads up, because if that person isn't working that day, then you should be looking for a shift on the Amazon app to drop any moment, right? I mean, not drop, but you should be looking for a shift that was dropped, uploaded to the Amazon app at any moment, because you have confirmation that this person may not even work. So when they drop their shift, you want to be alerted of that. You want to be aware that, oh, maybe I need to be checking my app as often as possible, because this person definitely won't be able to work their shift, right? So tip number 1, make sure you build relationships. Build those relationships. And for those who are shy and have a hard time socializing with individuals, the easiest way for you to come out of your shell is to ask questions pertaining to the job, right? Say, oh, what's the supervisor's name? That question has broken the ice. Just like that. What's the supervisor's name? Or what time does the store normally open? What what days do you normally work? Those simple questions will build up a relationship, as we've been mentioning, and it will help you with grabbing your Amazon shifts better. Okay, now tip number two. Tip number two may seem also like a simple thing, but tip number two is one of the greater tips that you need to have ready and available to you. And tip number two is to have multiple devices. Multiple devices. How many devices? As many devices as you can get. Multiple, right? Now, with me, when I used to work there at Amazon, I would have at least 3 different devices that I could check for shifts on or grab shifts on. What were those 3 devices? Those 3 devices were my cell phone, my computer, my desktop computer, which I'm on right now, and a tablet. Those were the 3 devices that I had available to me. Now for you, it can be more than 3, it can be less than 3, but just make sure it's more than one. More than one. And it doesn't have to be different. It doesn't have to be a phone and a tablet, or a computer and a tablet. It can be a phone and a phone. It can be a computer and another computer. Just have multiple things for you to be able to grab these Amazon shifts when they drop, or to check on shifts. One thing that I would recommend as well is that when you do have your multiple devices, it may be better for you to have the different types of devices. And I don't mean like a tablet and a phone and a desktop. I mean, if you're going to have an Apple computer, you have an Apple computer and then have an Android as well. So having an Apple computer and an Android, whatever it is, a tablet, Android phone, Android, even an Android laptop or whatever you may have as far as the Android side of things. I find that it might be more helpful if you have either of the two. So if you have an Apple computer or an Apple phone, Apple tablet, and then have an Android something else, right? Just to have the differentiality. I think the word is called differential, whatever the word is. Just to have another side of the spectrum, or another side of the Apple world and the Android world. And the reason I mentioned having different devices is because if the Apple device isn't working, what are you going to use, right? What if the Apple device isn't working across all the Apple devices? Your phone doesn't work, your iPhone doesn't work. You go to check the tablet doesn't work because Apple's having a system malfunction or something. So you want to be prepared for whatever may come. If your Apple device isn't working, you have an Android device. I have an Android tablet on the side just in case. Or I have an Android phone because my iPad isn't working. So just to have the best of both worlds, I think is the term that I was actually looking for, I think will be very beneficial when it comes to being successful in grabbing shifts in this advanced tutorial. Because there have been times where my Apple device hasn't been working, or when I go to refresh, it's not as fast as the Android devices, or vice versa. Maybe the Android device is very slow and the Apple device is extremely fast. But if you don't have both to be able to test, or if you don't have both to be able to grab shifts, then you'll never know what could have been in regards to grabbing shifts. You'll never know if you could have got that shift because you had another device handy or available. So tip number 2, again, have multiple devices, not just one. Actually, oftentimes I will have both devices, and this will go along with the same tip. Have both devices and then while you are on one with this hand, be on the other one with the other hand. Or if you have a desktop, have one hand scrolling or being prepared on the desktop, right? And then the other hand on your iPhone or on the tablet, ready to refresh. And you will do both at the same time, or you can refresh the page when shifts come to drop. When I was there, it was around 6:15 p.m. So when shifts do drop on one device, you can refresh first, maybe like a second or a minute earlier than the other device, and then on the other device you can refresh the page exactly at 6:15 p.m. to see which one you were able to have results load up on faster. So it's a trial and error type of thing. You're supposed to test any way you can to see what is sufficient, what works with me grabbing Amazon shifts. Okay. Tip number 3 is to have multiple helpers. Multiple helpers. We just mentioned the multiple devices, right? And the devices are helpers in themselves. But now we're talking about humans. Talking about family members. We're talking about friends. We're talking about acquaintances. Maybe the side pieces. But you want to have multiple people helping you if they are willing to help, of course. You can have maybe a friend that you text on the side who maybe doesn't even work for Amazon, or your sister or brother or uncle, father, what have you. Maybe your dog can help you. Tap on the screen and refresh the page. But have multiple people help you with grabbing Amazon shifts. How does this work? How do you have multiple people help you? Well, it's plain and simple. The way you grab shifts is the way they'll grab shifts for you. They'll have to be logged on to your account. So, of course, you would have to trust them with your credentials, right? So that they can log into your account. But once they're logged in, when 6:15 comes, when the time hits the dot for 6:15 p.m. or whatever time it is now, they probably changed it since I've been there. But whenever the time hits and Amazon shifts drop, you want to make sure that your trusted person who's going to be grabbing shifts for you is refreshing the page. And they don't have to refresh the page at the same exact time and be synchronized with you. They just need to refresh the page as often as they can until they see the shifts, because they're a helper, right? They're the secondary help. You're looking on your tablets and your phone and your desktop to refresh the page for yourself, but then you have backup that will be refreshing the page at different time frames, or maybe it is the same time frame, whatever you tell them, right? And when they see shifts, they'll grab whatever they can for you. But the only way you're going to be able to have so many chances and multiple devices is if you have multiple people to control those devices, right? It's plain and simple. It's obvious. It's not a secret. You want to have people help you as much as possible if you're struggling to get shifts, or even if you're not struggling to get shifts. This will also help you even more if you are successful in the first place. Like if you're getting shifts right now at the moment and not having any trouble, this will be an added on benefit, right? This will be a cherry on top of the icing, because you're already successful, but now there's no way anyone can stop you because you got multiple people grabbing shifts with you at the same time. And tip number 2 also goes along with tip number 3 with those people that are helping you. If they have multiple devices, can you imagine? You have 2 or 3 devices right in front of you at 6:15. Now you have a friend or a family member with 2 or 3 devices at 6:15, getting ready to refresh the page and grab those shifts for you. How can you lose, right? That's the question. How can you lose? Especially if you have them filter out the shifts that you want. So, and I have a video actually discussing the filtering of the shifts, which one of the videos that I did was on the basics. 5 tips on grabbing Amazon shifts successfully. And this was like the beginner's tips, I think it was called. And you can look at the video right here. Make sure you go and check it out if you haven't already, because this is that was a precursor to this video that I'm currently doing now. But imagine having multiple people and multiple devices at the same time helping you. It's almost as if there's no way that you cannot be successful, even though there's so many other people that may be doing the same thing. Maybe after this video, it will be a common thing known amongst the Amazonians. But you want to make sure that you're ready for whatever life throws at you. No, I'm getting too serious now. You want to be ready for whatever Amazon throws at you as far as shifts is concerned. And having multiple people will help you to become ready. The next tip number 4. Tip number 4 is a different one. Maybe you have not heard of this, but this was something that I did use when I was actively trying to grab shifts. This is a bit of a secret one. From all the videos that I go on YouTube to see what kind of tips can I take, or what kind of tips can I use to grab shifts successfully, this one was never mentioned. So this is kind of a secret tip. This is one that I'm giving you for free. All right. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content and you like the video. All right. And if you do like the video, like the video. All right. Hit the like button right down there. Hit the like button. Thank you. This tip that I'm talking about, the tip that I'm referring to is, we're going to go to Google and see what I'm talking about. So when you go to Google, what you are going to do is, actually, let me go to the home page. So you're at Google, right? You get to Google, and this is the home page of Google. And this is specifically for Google, because maybe you're using something else, like a different web browser. Maybe you're using Firefox or Safari or something else. And I don't know if those web browsers have these features. I'm sure they may have these features, but this one is what I've been using regarding the feature that I'm referring to. So you want to go to Google. If you don't have Google, you can go to google.com and download Google, or go to chrome.com, I think it is, and download Chrome. But for this tip, you want to go to Google and you want to type into your browser Chrome Web Store. And as you see, before I even typed anything else, it popped up. So Chrome Web Store. You want to click on that. And then it should bring up to you the Chrome Web Store link, which is right here. It should be the first one. But you definitely want to make sure that whatever you're looking for is the right website, because you do have those phishing websites and those fake, people make up their own websites. But if you search it, it should pop up as the first one. You click on Chrome Web Store. It will bring you to this Chrome Web Store. And this is all extensions, what they call extensions for the web browser. So for this Google Chrome web browser, these are all extensions that you can add on, which is kind of like, it's like little side helping attachments for the website, I guess you can say. So for example, something like this, Honey. It says automatic coupons and rewards. With this, and this is not part of our video, but I'm just explaining. With this, you can add it to Chrome and it will be attached to your sidebar here. And what it will do is this particular attachment will look for deals and coupons anytime you're shopping. So if you go to shop on Best Buy, and on the tab it shows this, it may show this logo. It'll get you some coupons and rewards if there's any available for the website. And let me see if actually I'll add it to Chrome. This is aside from what I'm talking about. All right. So I'm going to just show you exactly what I'm talking about. It'll say whatever extension you're adding, add extension once you click on it. So I'm going to add the extension. And then the extension is added. It said it added here, right? And it'll bring up a little welcome menu to say thank you for downloading it. But, this is the extension button. So if you're looking for an extension that's not pinned to the bar here, you want to click on this button, this little puzzle piece. So the one we just downloaded is Honey, right? And Honey is, let's see, I'm not sure if it's this one or the other one. Yep, it's this one. So as I clicked on it, it's giving me different shops that have rewards, that have coupons. You can easily navigate through this extension to get your coupons, as you can see. But that's not what we're here for. We're not here for Honey, right? We're here for what I'm talking about. So let's go back to the web store. Go back, and now we're here in extensions, search extensions and themes. What I want to search for is Auto Refresh Plus. Auto Refresh Plus. This is an extension. Actually, this is not the one that I was using, but this is essentially the same thing. It's an auto page refresher extension. And what this does, and I'll add it to Chrome here, is asking you to give permission to do these things, to read and change data on AutoFresh, read your browser history, and display notifications. Yes. So once you add that extension, it'll give you some options in the settings of the extension. So some of the options that it gives is it'll give you a default time interval, right? That's one of them. Another one is that you can control the location of the visual timer. And also you can stop refreshing on click and keyboard interactions, which is very essential to have on, right? Why? Because when you're ready to grab shifts on Amazon, and let me go here. Actually, you can pin these extensions so that they'll stay here and you can have easy access to them. But one of the reasons why you want to have this is because when you're on Amazon about to grab a shift at 6:15, you want to have the page auto refresh. Why? Because a lot of times when you're waiting for that specific time to hit exactly on the dot, and you have to click the refresher on the web browser yourself. If you have it on auto refresh, it'll continuously refresh itself, because sometimes when you're waiting for 6:15, shifts will already be loaded and you don't know, right? If you have the auto refresher, it'll continuously refresh the page until you see shifts. So you'll know exactly when shifts are available. Let's look at it in action. So this one says 12 seconds minimum, right? How many seconds do I want? I want 3 seconds. Let's use that. So we will do 3 seconds. And then I think you can just refresh the page. Let's see if this works. Oh, actually it's here is where you will be putting in your seconds. So it has time intervals. You can do 3 seconds. You can do an hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you want to do. Oftentimes I'll do 5 seconds, and then you click start, right? And you can even add a countdown to it if you like, but you click start, allow it to do its job, start it. Now, as you see, there's a timer here. You can't really see it. It's kind of tiny, but it's counting down from 5. What is that? 5 seconds. Right? That's what we had it to refresh from. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it will refresh the page. So this is an automatic system. You don't have to sit there and click it yourself. It'll continuously refresh. And once shifts drop on the website, they'll show up on the website, that you're refreshing, which is Amazon.com. or Amazon, you know, the A to Z app, I should say. But if you want to stop the page from refreshing, say it's refreshing, it's continuously going over and over refreshing, and you want to stop it because you finally see shifts. Well, the option that we selected down here was stop auto refreshing on click and keyboard interaction. So, and as you see, it's not refreshing no more after I click the page. Let's refresh the page. Start it. 5, 4, 3. Oh no, it shifts right there. Let me click and now it won't refresh, right? Boom. As you see, the timer went away at the top. The first time it didn't work because it's trying to make me look stupid on this tutorial. But as you can see, you stop and the timer is here. Once I click, the timer disappears and it doesn't refresh anymore. So you want to use this to your advantage. I think you can actually have the time intervals even lower. Like this is 3 seconds. Let's do 1 second. See what that is talking about. 1 second, boom. 1 second, boom. You see? So it will continuously refresh the page in 1 second. So every time it refreshes and you don't see a shift, you don't have to click. You just wait until you see a shift. Once the shifts pop up, boom, click the button on your mouse and it will stop so you can navigate and grab the shift. Very, very vital, very essential in shift grabbing, because this is an automatic refresher. You don't have to use your finger and wait there and sit there and look at the time. It's continuously doing it for you automatically. So you can look at your phone on this one, and then once this one is refreshing by itself and you do see shifts, you can just click the button and it'll stop and you can select whatever shift you want. And hopefully it'll be very beneficial to you as it was to me, because I used to use this a lot. This was something that I haven't heard being done by anyone actually. So this is a new tip. Make sure you keep it on the down. Oh, all right. Don't tell nobody about this. All right. But share the video. Okay. So the next tip. This next tip is one that I didn't use, but I had, kind of in my holster, I guess you can say. This is something that I was wanting to use and pull the trigger on, so to speak, and use it to my advantage, but I never got the chance to try it out or put it into practice. This one is using a tap app, is what it's called, a tap app. And this one can be tricky because there's multiple different tap apps for Android and I'm sure for iPhone. And a lot of them may come with like a premium version, and then others may be a standard version, but it may have a lot of ads. So this one is kind of to your discretion, to each his own type of thing. If you want to try it out, it's an option available to you. But let me just go on my phone and see if I can find this app for you. Okay, so I'm in my phone on my Android app. This is the Play Store. If you go to the Play Store and type in Tap App and then search for it, it'll pop up and it'll give you different apps that they have for tapping. One here, actually that wasn't a tap app. Let's see, auto clicker. Actually, that's what it's called, auto clicker. So this one is an auto clicking app. It says it's easy to use. It gives you some instructions. You can have a single target, multi targets, and as you can see, they have little places where you can set up places where you can set up the interaction location, and then I'm sure you can add like how many taps to that location and whatnot. As you can see here, support swipe. They have anti-detection, and you can configure it however you want. Let me actually go back and see if the auto clicker would be the right term for this type of app that I'm referring to. Yeah, so it is. As you can see, there's multiple auto clickers in the Play Store. Now for iPhone, I'm not sure how many different tap or auto clicking apps they have. I just recently switched to an Android. In my prior videos, you may have seen me using the iPhone, but I did make the switch. So for Android, as you can see here in the recorded video there are multiple auto tapping apps, and you will have to just go through and check each and every one and what different features they have. But I do know, and this is maybe the only downside to it, is I do know a lot of them have like premium features, so they'll try to lock you out of important feature by holding a paywall behind it, basically. But this is something that is available, and I wanted to just bring this up for each and every one of you that are interested. Again, I was going to get into it. Like, I had it in the back of my mind, like, man, I need to try one of those auto clicker apps to see if it's efficient, if it works. But I never got the chance to use it. I usually just use the refreshing app on my web browser. And I will have, as I mentioned in the last tips that in this video, the multiple friends and family members that will help me, and also the multiple devices as well. And those friends and family that would help me, I have already built a relationship with them. So they were willing to help me in grabbing Amazon shifts whenever I needed them grabbed. Again, this auto clicking feature is something that you will have to look more into. It's there for you, right? You want to test it out on your own. And again, I don't have the Amazon app, so I'm not able to see where to put the clicker and grab the shift and so on and so forth. You would have to do that on your own. But I think if you did learn how to work this auto clicker, I feel like it will be definitely a beneficial tool in helping you grab shifts as fast as possible, because you have a bot, essentially a bot grabbing the shift for you, multiple clicks in a short amount of time, while someone else is there waiting for the time. And as fast as they can tap on the screen, there's a robot doing it for you immediate. So again, these are 5 tips, 5 advanced tips, I should say, just to help you or whoever that is getting into the Amazon profession. And hopefully these tips will help you in your shift grabbing. I thank you so much for viewing the video. If you had any questions or any comments or anything like that, make sure you drop them down below. I do try to respond to all of the comments that are mentioned in the videos, or all of the comments. Yes. I do try to respond to all of the comments that are down there in the comments section as best as I can. And I'm trying to put as many videos as I can out. A lot of times, I'm just lazy and don't really want to put anything out. But thank you to all the support, to everyone that's been following the channel, hitting that subscribe button, sharing the videos, commenting, sharing their sides of the Amazon experience. Has definitely been nice to hear from each and every one of you. But that is it for the video. Let me know any other videos you would like to see. If you wanted me to maybe do a tutorial on whatever, just drop it down below, man. That's it for me.